Hey guys, this is Eddie the Magic Monk. Welcome to another Excel tutorial. Today we're going to build a dice simulator. So what's going to happen is we're going to use Excel to simulate the action of throwing dice. And the numbers that we end up on the dice is going to be recorded in our spreadsheet. Now the good thing about doing this is so that we don't have to keep throwing dice all the time. We can just use Excel to pretend that we have thrown the dice. So what we're going to do is, firstly we throw the first die, and I'm going to introduce you guys to functions in Excel. Now what a function is instead of typing a number in straight away, the function, which is in the format of equals and then the name of the function, so in this case it's rand, and then if you press enter, what's going to happen is it actually tells you as a little hint on the screen. What the rand function does is it returns a random number greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0, and less than 1. So if you press enter now, what's going to happen is, so I forgot to say, with a function you must have a bracket after the name of the function. Now what's the bracket for? Well, if the function requires an input, then that's where you put the input inside the bracket. But right now this function does not require any inputs, so you can just press you can just press enter now, and it generates a number between 0 and 1. Okay, now the problem with generating a die is that we don't want a number between 0 and 1. We want a number between 1 and 6. So to make that distinction, instead of typing in rand, what I'm going to type in is the function rand between, and then inside the bracket you can see here that it wants us to put in some input to the function. Okay, so the input of the function, or another word for it is arguments, is we want the bottom limit, which is 1, and the top limit, which is 6. And what this function is going to do is it'll generate a random number between 1 and 6 for us. So you're going to type that in, press enter, and you can see that it's generated a number between 1 and 6, which is 4. Now whatever you do on the screen now, so you can edit anywhere on the screen, you can just press enter, put a number in, press enter, and you can see that this number automatically updates. Because what happens is you enter in some data somewhere else on the spreadsheet, and the whole spreadsheet will run all of its functions again as soon as you have updated one cell. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you do. If you change anywhere on the spreadsheet, it updates that number. Okay, so this is just for throwing one die. So what if you want to throw the die more than once? So I'm going to move these two cells to the right. So I'm just dragging, I'm highlighting these two cells, and I'm dragging the corner to the right. And now in cell A3, I'm going to type in round number. Okay, so round number, and I'm going to have 1 to 10. So I'm going to throw the first die 10 times. So notice all I do is I click the result from the first rand between, and I click the bottom right hand corner, this dot, and I drag it down to the 10th cell, and you can see that I have just generated 10 random numbers. Now what do you do if you want to have more than one die? So let's say that I'm generating random numbers for 3 different dice. So I have die number 2 and die number 3. And what I can do is I can click the cell for die number 1 and I can drag the dot to the right hand side, okay, by 2 cells. And what this does is it copies the formula randbetween and it fills to the right, and then I'm gonna highlight the first line and I'm gonna drag it downwards. And now what's happening is I have 3 dice, and each die I have thrown it 10 times. So now I have basically 30 random numbers, which is really good. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is what happens if we don't want it to automatically update every time I change something. So for example, if I suddenly type in just anything on the screen, so let's say I type hello and I press enter, you can see that all of the numbers suddenly just changed. So if I don't want that to happen, what I'll do is I'll highlight all of these cells and I'll press Ctrl C for copy, and then when I paste, I'm gonna go to this down arrow here next to the paste button, and I'm gonna click that and I will press paste values. So make sure you click this button that says paste values, and then after you click that button and you press enter, what's gonna happen is all of the formulas are gone. So right now we just have numbers in these cells that were generated by the formulas. But the formulas have disappeared, which means it doesn't matter what else you type on the screen now, the numbers will not update. Okay, so hopefully you guys have learned something from today's lesson and you are able to generate random numbers in Excel. See you guys next time.